Hello again, this is Norman A. Hood with PolicySettlement.com. You're about to meet several of our satisfied clients who provide answers to questions that often come up after the policy settlement process starts. First, let's take a look at how Bill Clendenin and Wally Jones answered, "What caused you to look into a policy settlement?"
Well, it was quite by accident. In my business I had before, I used to get Kiplinger every week, and I enjoyed it because it was a quick synopsis of what was going on in the world and in our country. And I came across this blurb in there about your type of thing that you do. And so there was a phone number, so I called it. And quite honestly, I forgot about it. And then later on, after the business was sold, I got to thinking, my gosh, I have a lot of life insurance policies. Maybe I should get something going. And you called me after that, and already my insurance man had told me he could get me some money, but you said, let me take care of that for you. I know I can really do it because this is my business. So that's exactly what I did, go with you, and I was very pleased because you got me a great settlement.
The reason why we considered a life settlement was that we were in the process of selling the business, and as a part of our agreement with the previous owners of the business, we were required to maintain life insurance policies, key-man life insurance policies that the previous owners had. And so as we were selling the business, there really was no contractual need to maintain those. So my business partner and I were thinking about, well, do we just cancel the policy? Do we continue to pay the premiums and hold it ourselves personally, or should we? Really didn't have any other thoughts about it. And then I read Business Week magazine, and that's where I first learned about life settlements, and so we decided during the transition to go through the process and seeing what life settlement would mean.
Please watch and listen as Haig Pedian and Dean Mullinax reply to, "Had you heard about a policy settlement before?"
Well, actually, you're the one that prompted it. I think I read an article or something once, and I called you, and you came in, and that's how we did it. I was aware of those things before, but you're really the one that prompted it.
I had heard the term, but I had no familiarity with what a settlement was at all.
Here's Marie Saws and Haig answering, "Why did you sell your policy?"
I think the main reason was that since it was not, we were not going to be able to convert it, this was a good way of recouping the money that we had already paid into the policy in the form of premiums. And that was about $60,000, and I just thought that was a lot of money to just let it go.
Well, we liked the settlement, the fact that we'd get some cash that we needed at the time for our business. So that helped us float our company for about a year.
Marie and Michael Miller now respond to, "How did you use the money?"
We invested some of the money, and it couldn't have been a luckier break because of the timing. As we know, globally we went into a recession, and Ken's business dried up for all of 2009. My business dried up, and there were still bills to pay. This money partially helped us stay afloat, or stay afloat completely, but part of it helped us do that. And so we were not one of the statistics. We had mortgages to pay and bills to pay, and this was a way of doing that.
Bought a few things, paid a few bills, just added it to my income.
If you're wondering about the policy settlement process, see how John Dalton and Bill answered, "What was the process like?"
Well, I guess first off, I found out about it reading an article in Kiplinger magazine, and got information on Norman from Kiplinger. And I contacted Norman And again, I was just kind of surprised that there was any value in the policy. And then started the process with Norman, and it really wasn't complicated at all. It was over the phone, and he explained everything very thoroughly, and it was a very simple process.
The process was actually, fairly painless from our perspective. We got in touch with Norm Hood, who facilitated the process for us, and we gave him all the information we had on the policies and the former owners that had been insured, and took it out to market. And so really it was more of a, provide information, wait for feedback, provide information, wait for feedback. But in terms of administrative work, there really wasn't a lot of work involved in that process.
Dean and Michael are back again addressing, were you happy with the results?
Yeah, in fact, I had some time to sit and reflect on this not too long ago, and really was. In fact, I think I told you earlier, not only did it meet our expectations, but it really exceeded our expectations.
Norman, how can I thank you enough? It was just terrific.
And finally, John and Wally give some really great advice when they answer, what suggestions do you have for others?
Well, again, I think that so many people probably, if they have a similar policy, just let it expire because they just don't want to pay the real high premiums. And so they end up getting no value at all out of the insurance. And with selling the policy, I got back, I think, over half of the premiums that I had paid over the 14 years or so that I had the policy. And I think it's just something that people just don't know about, and there's money that they leave on the table.
Well, it all depends upon what you bought the insurance for and how much you have. Really, I didn't need to have insurance for my family. They were well set themselves, and I decided that it was probably a better thing for me to do is just to turn the darn policies in and make my life as good as I could at the time. But as far as hanging on to policies until you die, and then someone gets a lot of money just because you want to take care of your kids, so to speak. I believe the kids should be able to take care of themselves in the first place, unless there's some illness or something like that. But in my case, there was nothing like that. So I think it's a good thing to do to help you make sure you've got a good life for the rest of your life.
Most of our clients use Live PDQ as the important first step toward getting answers to their questions. Please try it now so you can too.